Hey, LeBron, just want to check in on the ankle. Not to, have to have that be the thing we talk about every time, but just how to feel coming off of that game and all those minutes and a couple of days later here.
Oh, I'm good. Uh, Ready to go on Sunday.
Right, LeBron, what is you think the most important thing in this matchup? You know Chris's game pretty well. Obviously, you didn't face them a couple times, especially the last time when AD went off. What's at the top of that scouting report when you break down the film on this Phoenix Suns squad?
First is just the respect factor. They're the number two team in the league for a reason. Won 51 games, and there's a reason because of that. It's because they've surrounded CP and Book with a supporting cast that's been playing at a high level all year. And they got a great big three, and CP, Book, and Aiden, and the rest of those guys they're starring their role, and we got to be able to understand that and match that. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Dave? Hey, LeBron, sometimes you see like former players get together on like a round table, guys that were friends when they were playing, and maybe one guy has rings or accolades, and the other guy didn't get him in his career, and there's kind of some ribbing that goes on. What's the dynamic like with you and Chris? Obviously, the respect factor, we all see it and know it. Do you ever, poke him or rib him about the fact that you have the rings and he hasn't earned one in his career?
Nah, I think you know me by now. I think that's not in my trait. I don't really talk about my accolades or what I've been able to do. And our friendship is beyond that. So I'm not one of those guys to talk about what I have. I think that's it's very shallow and it's beneath me personally. So I don't get involved in that.
Bill?
Kind of a two-parter here, LeBron. Have you and Chris, I would assume, been talking a little bit over the last couple of days since you guys earned the 7th seed? And is there anything you could share from those exchanges now that you guys are finally going to have a playoff series? And then two, what's this chess match going to be like between the two of you, and how fun will it be for you to try to outwit him? And I know it's a whole team, but to try to go head-to-head and mind-to-mind with him over potentially 7 games?
Well, it's going to be comparable to playing against Rondo in the series, playing against Draymond in the series. You have those out-of-this-world IQ-type guys and fierce competitors, at the same time. So it's the same thing. Every time I face Rondo, in the past, I knew I had to be not only my A game as far as my game, but also my mind as well. And it's the same with Draymond. Every time you go against those Warriors teams. So, I've had experiences with those two guys, so that would definitely help me, in matching up with CP, because I know the competitor and I know the IQ of a basketball player he is.
Al?
Hey, LeBron, I know you've talked about how your availability for this team in the postseason is a huge factor for the team's success. I was wondering if that value affected the way that you thought about the COVID-19 vaccine and being available, not being in protocols.
Nah. Anything that I do off the floor is, predicated to my family, for the majority. For 99.9% of that. So, it's about the health and safety of my family, and that's what it came down to. Me being available to my teammates on the floor is me taking care of my body. Me doing everything I can do to make sure I'm available both mentally, physically, and spiritually as well. So, but anything of that nature, that's all family talk.
And do you mind me asking if you're confirming that you did get the vaccine?
It's not a big deal.
BT? What's up, Brian?
What's going on, BT?
Everything's good, man.
Yeah.
Consider you've missed some games this season. Where is your game right now compared to past season going into the playoffs?
Well, obviously, I had a lot more time to rev up and build my body over the course of the season in the past, and with the 6.5, 7 weeks or whatever it was that I had to sit out, I didn't get an opportunity to kind of rev up and sharpen my sword. But I was able to mentally, disconnect as much as I could. Obviously, for me, it's very stressful watching our games, knowing how much I can help the ball club and not actually being out there. So as far as like mental break, I didn't get much of that because I just wanted to be available to my guys and I couldn't. But I mean, I'm ready. I'm prepared mentally. My game will continue to improve as the games go on, and hopefully we can play more than 4 games. And that will, get my game going more and more and more. So, looking forward to seeing what's in store for me.
We'll take a few more. Jovan?
Hey, LeBron, Andy was talking about how unique of a challenge Phoenix is because your pick and roll coverages are kind of designed to force teams into the mid range, but they're the best mid range team in the league with Book and CP. How do you view that challenge of kind of the chess match of what you want to take away and them actually being good at what your kind of base defense is designed to force?
Yeah, I mean, they're not good. They're great. They're the number 1 mid-range team in the league, and it's because CP and Book are the number 1 and 2 mid-range players in our league. So, we understand that, and the playoffs is all about chess moves, and it's going to be a chess match back and forth, and we see who makes the best moves.
Alan Slewa?
Hey, LeBron, I just want to get your thoughts. For all your playoff experience that you had, is there, of course, every game is very valuable, but is there something about game ones? Do game ones kind of set a tone to a series? Do you look at a game one a little bit different?
Game one has always been like a learning experience for me. It's kind of set the table to know what to expect, to know, what to look for the rest of the series. And obviously there's going to be adjustments. Coaches and players and everyone makes adjustments, but it kind of sets the table. And for me, it's kind of a fill-out game for me personally. But for our team, it's not a fill-out game. We want to come in and play, how we did in the second half of this last game against the Warriors. We don't want to have a fill-out game, but for me, it's kind of it's a mental thing for me of how I'm breaking down the team, breaking down the personnel, and then getting on the floor in that game one, and how I can be better in game two.
Last question, Melissa Rowland.
Hey, LeBron, with all the incredible and sustained success that you've had for 2 decades, how often do you think back to like when you were in high school and dreaming of getting to where you are now, and the guys that really influenced you back in those days, like Coach Dambrot and guys like that?
I think about them every day. When I'm thinking about basketball, it's not a time go by when Frank Walker and Coach Drew Joyce and Keith Dambrot doesn't come to mind. They basically gave me the whole DNA and the blueprint of how to play the game of basketball, both as an individual, how to work hard, how to be selfless, how there's no iron team, and without the greater of all of us, then you will not get the reward that you're actually looking for at the end of the road. So, they're like my big 3 when it comes to basketball. Frank Walker, Coach Drew Joyce, and Keith Dambrot. They gave me all the tools for when I started playing at 9 all the way till I was 18. Playing in little leagues to middle school league to AAU ball to high school ball, travel leagues and things of that nature. So I wouldn't be the player who I am. I wouldn't be succeeding with the way I have at the best league in the world, the NBA, without the influence of those 3 guys.